Hello everyone, welcome to us back to the YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing a review for Game of Thrones, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. It just ended today, and we're going to be doing an overview of all 6 episodes, the first season, with season 2 dropping next year. Let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on the show. Subscribe if you're new and leave a like if you enjoyed the show, and if you enjoyed the video, let me know so I can keep doing these videos in the future. Enjoy the video. So, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is a brand new Game of Thrones prequel. It is set, I believe, 90 years before the events of Game of Thrones. It follows Sir Duncan the Tall, and Aegon Targaryen, the fifth. And you get to see the Targaryens without dragons. Obviously, you have House of the Dragon, which focuses on a period of time where there's a ridiculous amount of dragons, and you have Game of Thrones where there's 3 dragons. In this one, you get to see the house without the dragons, but the cool and the arrogance, still within the family, still within the blonde. But you also get to see Baelor Targaryen's side, who is black-haired, and his son Valorian. Then you get to see Micah and his family, Aerion, Aegon, and the rest of the kids that are part of his family. And you get to see so many different. It's like almost if you have black hair, you have good morals. People want you to thrive. People want you to be king. Obviously, Baelor was heir to the throne. Obviously, going forward, there'll be spoilers. I'm going to touch upon everything and let you know what I like and what I didn't like. But Baelor obviously dies in episode 5, getting a massive blunt to the head from his brother Micah. Truth be told, we're not going to go episode by episode, but episode 5 was phenomenal for the last 15 minutes. It's one of the highest rated episodes in TV history, I believe. I was let down with the premise because, you think you go into episode 5 with the thought of this massive battle, the 7-on-7. The build was brilliant, and takes nothing away from the flashback. The flashback was brilliant. It played homage to an array of characters in Dunk's life, his best friend from childhood, talking about his mother, how he met his mentor. And I believe the battle, where all the dead bodies are at the start of the episode, is a cancelled show that was meant to be in the works. So that was intriguing from the knowledge, from the research I've done. But yeah, episode 5 was an example of how a battle should be done, how a main character should be portrayed, how a villain should be portrayed, and it was phenomenal. From episode 1 to episode 6, the relationship between Dunk and Egg has been fantastic. You've heard about these characters snippets in Game of Thrones. You've heard George R. R. Martin talk about them, how it's his favorite things from his writing, I believe. I definitely want to read the books, but I also in a way don't, because it's just really exciting to see these 2 characters go through what they go through without me knowing what is to come. Even though the internet's out there, I know how their story ends, but that's in years and years and years to come. So hopefully we can see the journey they go on, the characters they grow up to be, because obviously Aegon becomes the king in the future. But yeah, from the second these 2 are on the screen, Dexter, who plays Egg, he's like 9 or 10 in this, and he plays it perfectly. Peter Clafley, who plays Dunk, he is the embodiment of what you'd expect from hearing who Dunk is. He's just as he is, he's genuine. His portrayal of this character is so good, honest, and believable. And you go, okay, he is a kind-hearted soul. He would do anything for any character. The relationships he builds through this series, with Barath, with Lionel Baratheon, Lionel Baratheon, the Targaryen household, and everyone else at the camp. The young lad who helps him, who ends up going against his cousin. Um, it, it's a testament of how he was just a normal hedge knight in episode one. So I think we get basically a confirmation in episode six that he was never knighted. Oh, well, you've got to. The thing for me is, you watch this week to week and you see people in the comment section or online or in socials and being like, these episodes aren't long enough. And that's people who just would be the first to complain when there's too much filler. I think the longest episode was episode five, I think, or one, maybe one or the other. But you go, I think all six episodes perfectly length. They included exactly what you needed to. There's a couple of weird scenes. Like, did we need to see Dunk's master just flaunting himself everywhere, or Dunk crap on episode one? There are some scenes where you go, okay. But if I had to say, I think the casting was perfect throughout. Baelor, Micah, Lionel, Dunk, Egg, Arian, the rest of the Targaryen family, all the side characters, all the characters that complemented the story, they were brilliant. I think the settings, the costumes, the guy in the armory, he's brilliant. The development, the relationships, um, and the way they end the show is brilliant with Egg, the Dunk leaving the Targaryen family. I believe they're going to be going to Dawn. That's gonna be cool. But at the same time, it's like, will Micah appear again? Because he's under the impression that Egg has escaped, even though Egg told Dunk that Micah gave him permission. And the dialogue you had between them two in episode six is brilliant. The dialogue you've had all season between Baelor and Dunk has been great. The fight scene between Arian and Dunk in episode five was phenomenal. No, get up, get up, get up, and then he gets up, and then he didn't, he never at any point wanted to kill Arian. He just wanted to win and prove his innocence. The armor of the King's Guard was brilliant. It's probably the nicest we've ever seen. And in the main Game of Thrones show, it's so bad. There's just so many pros. I can't really name any cons. I think it's one of the most perfect TV shows I've ever seen. It's the best Game of Thrones content we've had in a while. You think of the Reigns of Castamere, what the episode where Robb Stark dies, Battle of the Bastards. There's so many great episodes in Game of Thrones, but I think to do six episodes back to back with a good plot, good characters, good connectivity, and a good link up to season two, with showcasing the Targaryens in such a brilliant manner, but whilst not using dragons, introducing a new Baratheon, introducing I think there's a new Tully in the story. What Peter Flatley and Dexter did were phenomenal. Their relationship, the chemistry was second to none. Like I said, the costumes were massive for me, like what Egg was wearing, like the Red Cross. Um, episode five was phenomenal. The whole battle sequence when Dunk kicked the crap out of Arya in episode four, I believe. The relationship between Balon and Dunk was one of my favorites, and that's the bit where he takes the helmet off and half his skull is hanging out. It's just really emotional, and the fact that the helmet kept him alive. The dialogue, what George and Irma, I think their name is, who produced and created this season, did a phenomenal job. And full credit to them. And the fact that season two has been in the works, apparently it'll be year on year on year, and it will be easily one of the most successful shows in history eventually. probably going past the main show because it doesn't overcomplicate it. It still uses locations that we're used to, like King's Landing. We're going to be going to Dawn. It still uses houses we're familiar with, like the Baratheons, like I said, the Targaryens. No Starks at the moment. But overall, I think if you haven't watched the show, you need to go and watch it. I definitely look forward to rewatching it at some point. But yeah, the development from him being alone at the start of episode one to basically having this family at the end of episode six in Egg, the young lad, Lionel, who he sees an ally in. Um, then yeah, I'm very excited to see where it all goes. So in my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10 show. I highly recommend it. Let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on the show, what you would give it. Happily would talk more about the show and more in depth about the show. Um, Maybe I'll do episode by episode reviews and breakdowns and just talk about them and what I thought was amazing about each episode. But overall, 10 out of 10. Subscribe for more content coming very soon and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Take care. Goodbye.